Hey there. Today I'm here to talk about and advise you, don't compare yourself to others. There's an awful lot of smoke and mirrors out there. So this is observation number 7 in 10 observations from 10 years. So what's this all about? Well, don't compare your life, your business, with someone else's highlight reel. Right? We look all around, networking meetings, social media, all that stuff is someone's highlight reel. You're not seeing them on the fetal position rocking back and forth in their office when they can't make payroll. You're not seeing their heartache and inside their minds. And I'm not saying, oh, well, because all the people who claim they are successful are not, they're a bunch of charlatans. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, though, is that we all create a brand out there, a public persona, and then there is what is really going on inside. And that's human. That's being human. And that's what it's about, being in business. So don't compare your life with someone else's highlight reel, because comparison is the root of all suffering. So let me tell you about a story. God, there's just so many, I don't even know where to start. But I can remember being in a networking meeting, and it was a lot of successful business owners getting started, and lots of celebrations around and round, and we're celebrating so-and-so because their business just got all this media, and they're expanding, and they're doing this event and that event. And so, of course, we celebrate. Except, all of a sudden, I got so confused because just like a week or two later, all of a sudden, this entire place is going out of business. And not by choice. Like, this was not a situation where the owner was like, I want to move on and do something else. And I'm like, am I missing something? Or alternatively, then you've got the fact that, oh, so-and-so, they're growing, and they've got systems, and they're oh my gosh, they're working with Mega Coach Jane, and so they are just blowing the lid off of bringing it to the next level. Okay, don't get me started on all kinds of regular cliches. But then you sit down one-on-one and you have coffee with him and you realize, oh my gosh, they haven't paid themselves in a year. They're wondering how they can make ends meet because they just invested in 12 different things that they may or may not actually need, but someone told them that they should. Well, I'm here to say don't compare. You want to be, and a hi to Yvonne here on this live video, but we want to be appropriately vulnerable, right, in these events. And of course, we all want to feel and be successful. So I'm not suggesting that if you're having a bad week that you go to your local event and then like, woe is me, crying in my coffee. But, show up, be proud of who you are and where you are, whether it's going well or not. And also remember that if everything looks rosy around you and everybody else seems to be doing so much better than you are, don't necessarily believe that. Because there's always going to be people that are ahead of you and behind you, whatever that actually means, right? It's like in cycling, right? So I've been a cyclist for like 20 some years now. There's always going to be people faster than me. In fact, there's a really long list of people just in my local club that are infinitely faster than me. And there's always going to be people slower than me. And on any given day, it is what it is. But if I constantly look at the people who are faster than me and feel like crap about myself, I'm not going to get better. So yes, I want to ride with people who are better than me because it makes me better. But if I compare myself and I'm always looking at that, I'm going to feel like crap. And the same can be said in business. So remember that just because someone appears like, oh, it's so exciting, they now broke the $100,000 mark, the $250,000 mark, the $500,000 mark. Often these people have less money and less take-home discretionary money than they did before. So again, smoke and mirrors, just the way it's positioned. But don't compare your life and your business and where you are in this moment with everyone else and start to suffer. Instead, take a good hard look at where you are and act from there. So if you want to stop wondering like, oh my gosh, do I need to do this because this person's doing this or that because that person's doing that? I invite you to take the quiz that I created that help you determine for you where you are, what the thing is that really will get you, what might be holding you back, the number one, number two things that are holding you back from the growth you want, and it's actionable and it's real and it's about where you are and not about everybody else. So you can go to thepaulagcompany.com/quiz to check that out. And in the meanwhile, by all means, own who you are and where you're at. Forget about the smoke and mirrors, and that comparison will just lead you down the road of suffering. So I invite you to create a great day and stay tuned for the next observation next week.